everyone, and welcome to Whose Life Is It Anyway? A show where everything is made up, but the points actually do matter. If any of that sounds a little familiar, well, that's because yes, this is an improv comedy podcast where all the stories you're about to hear were completely made up on the spot, guided and prompted by real improv comedy games. How does it work? Well, two players are tasked with having a podcast-like interview or conversation, making it all up as they go, but there's a third guest who can interrupt at any time and give them new rules or new directions for their conversation via a list of different improv games and guidelines. How do you win? Well, if a player breaks character or simply doesn't follow the rules of the game they're in at the time, the other person is awarded a point, and at the end of a 20-minute time limit, the guest with the most points wins, and of course, becomes known to the world as a comedic genius. So, without any further ado, let's find out who's making stuff up in this episode. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Whose Life Is It Anyway? It's a very real podcast about a fake podcast where someone's life story is going to get made up on the spot. And of course, I could not do that by myself. I have two very wonderful guests that I am so freaking excited to have on for this season. First, the person I will be making up a story with in this episode, Christine Horvath, back on the show. Welcome, my friend.
Thank you for having me.
I am so excited to make stuff up with you. And the person who will be guiding us along, giving us all of our improv games and guidelines for this episode, Amber Falter in the host chair.
Hey, what's up? It's me, the host.
You are in control.
Oh, it's a horrifying place to be, my dear friend.
Okay, we're scared or very excited to be a host.
Both.
Wonderful.
A little bit of both. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Just throw it at you?
You get all the power in this one. So yes, you will be throwing it at us. So before we can start, we got to figure out what exactly our guidelines are. We got to figure out what the heck Christine and I are going to be doing in this episode. So Amber, you must assign who's the interviewer and who's the guest. And also, if you have a theme and characters in mind, throw that at us as well. I am now terrified.
Absolutely. I'm so excited for this universe to be brought about by my two friends. So we are going to the wonderful, wonderful, wonderful world. Gosh, that's hard to say. Of a Wizard of Oz. The Wiz universe. Okay. So Ross, you are going to be whoever the heck you want to in this world. I want you to kind of choose.
Okay.
You said you knew a lot about Wizard of Oz, so you both did. So I'm kind of interested to see where you take that. But Christine, you are going to be the bitter brass man.
Is that like the Tin Man?
It's, I don't know. You gotta tell me.
Could be less famous.
Could be less famous. So Christine, you're gonna be on Ross's show, whoever you are, and then you're the bitter brass man, whatever that means to you.
Okay.
And I'll see you on the Yellow Brick Road.
Okay.
Oh my! Wow! What a pun that
Send-off.
Okay, are you ready to start the clock? Are we good?
Let's go.
All right, let's make this happen. 20 minutes. Here we go. It's my show, right? All right, I got to get into host mode here.
Cool.
All right, hello, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to a podcast that I will name at a later date. I am very excited to have my guest.
The Wizard of Pods? How is that not the name of this podcast?
So you know. So you've done your research.
Well,
Thank you very much.
I like it. I listen to it.
Now, of course, this podcast takes place right here inside the Emerald City, coming to you live. And as you would know, I tend to change up my podcast name just like the colors of all the horses and everything running around.
Oh, you love those colored horses. They are pretty.
Are you a fan of the colored horses?
Absolutely. I'm gay. Obviously, yes.
Okay, so you are, the bitter brass man.
The bitter brass
on the show.
Yeah, that's what people call me.
Yeah. Now, why the bitter? And I'm gonna do a little assuming here up front, if that's okay.
No, that's
it is
fair.
My show, right? Mm-hmm. You've traveled far and wide to be here at the Emerald City. You're not from the Emerald City, right?
I'm not from the Emerald City. I am from the Sapphire Kingdom is where I'm from.
Change that.
I am from the Plastic Bin City. That's where I'm from.
Change that, please.
I am from Recycle Land. That's where I'm from.
Right.
And I came to the Emerald City for a boy. Okay.
Okay.
And I came to be known as the bitter brass. I can't even say it.
Yeah, I know it's probably hard to.
You know, you'd think I'd have a lot of practice.
Well, my assumption that I was going to give is the bitterness. Does it come from the fact that, you know, the brass man, that kind of has to do with metals? Has the Tin Man kind of stolen a lot of your thunder with that whole adventure that they went on? That what was it? The girl from Kansas showed up one day. They all just sort of like joined together. They show up here at the Emerald City. They're like, oh my God, we want things from the wizard. We don't ask much of the wizard, right? He lets us go.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
We're going to play Fortunately, Unfortunately. This is where you both must keep the story going, trade back and forth using whatever. Start every sentence with fortunately or unfortunately, thank you, go.
Fortunately, the wizard kind of lets us do as we please here in Oz, as long as we don't ask too much.
Okay, so unfortunately, I know the Tin Man quite well. He and I were in a romantic tryst for some time. We were quite in love, I would say. And it was tumultuous. It was a little bit like we were pretty young. We were in our 20s. We were very stupid. And we were trying very hard to live a life that we thought was very beautiful and we loved, but we didn't get along very well. And so when we broke up, like the Tin Man kind of like got on like that Dorothy train, and I didn't. So people assume that I am very bitter and call me the bitter brass man.
Wow. Now, unfortunately, it was probably pretty difficult to be in a romantic relationship with someone who does not have a heart.
Unfortunately, it was, it's the spirit of the heart. And he had quite a spirit about him, although he had an anger problem. So, as it turns out, so do I.
Unfortunately, an anger problem mixed with an axe-wielding Tin Man. Probably not a good mix.
Fortunately, the axe had gone missing at some point, but yeah, I would agree that that's generally a bad combo.
Fortunately, I have heard what he lacks in heart, he makes up for in a certain metal rod elsewhere, right?
Unfortunately, I wouldn't know anything about that, to be completely honest with you. It was an asexual relationship, so we didn't really, I don't know. We don't know each other intimately in that sense.
Unfortunately, that's not good content for my podcast. I was hoping to get spicy here.
Unfortunately, I am not content.
Fortunately, that is good that you understand where you stand. After being a piece of living metal, living brass, it's very fortunate that you understand where you stand here in the world of Oz.
Yeah, fortunately, I have a heart. I don't always use it, I think, in the way that I should, but I do fortunately feel like I've created a life for myself outside of the Tin Man.
Okay, you both win. Everyone's winning. Continue on with your conversation and interview.
So you're from what was it?
Recycle Land.
Recycle Land.
Yeah.
I haven't ventured far out of the walls of the Emerald City before. Born and raised here. I'm not that familiar with Recycle Land. What's it like?
It's dirty, mostly.
Sounds like it.
It's dirty, but it's part of its charm, I would say. And we have some organized crime, I would say, and we deal with it. It's part of the culture. It's not easy to live there. A lot of people leave, especially young people, to go find work or whatever. But it's a nice place. I mean, my parents are still there.
Yeah. Okay. Now I know a lot of the work that people go and find from Recycle Land is they work on the Yellow Brick Road.
They
right?
do.
It's a big
yes.
thing going on here in Oz right
now. A lot of work on the Yellow Brick Road. A lot of blue collar labor, huh?
Yeah. Well, I call it green color. Here.
Emerald City. That's beautiful.
I know Recycle Land folk like you don't really, little scarecrowish, don't always have it up here.
Little dumb.
As they are making fun of these other characters, I would like to hear impressions only of other people and characters from The Wizard of Oz. Thank you. Go.
From The Wizard of Oz?
Mm-hmm.
So,
And you can do it as if you're mocking them with your conversation. I think I'd love to hear some Wizard of Oz shit talk. Thank you.
You know how the scarecrow is without any brains.
Yeah. One time I went to see the Wizard, whatever his name is, and he was like, "I have to get my dates. Where are my dates?" You know, like, and he wasn't even talking about like special dates or anything. You know, it was just like these dates that he like got in a gift basket once.
Right. Now, so when you were starting this relationship with Tin Man, I do kind of want to get back into that. Did he ever, up front at the beginning, did he ever look at you and say, like, I don't have a heart?
He did have that little gay voice, you know, he did. He had that little, like he was raised on the coast, you know, that kind of little thing about him. And you know what? He did tell me that he didn't have a heart. And I thought that that was really brave of him. Like, that's kind of like why I fell in love with him in the first place. He was really quick to own his vulnerabilities. But yeah, he did look at me and say that. Unfortunately, he did not look at me and say that he would refuse to clean dishes in our house. So I wish he would have disclosed that as well.
So you two lived together?
We did live together, yeah, for a short period of time. I had a little apartment on the outskirts of the Emerald City, and I loved it. I loved it a lot, and he moved in with me because he, I don't know what happened to him after Dorothy left, but he was quite depressed.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I have no other impressions left from you.
Okay, I was like, okay. Continue on with your interview.
So, being a brass man.
A brass man.
How were you created, invented? What's the backstory of the brass man here?
Well, my parents were brass, and you know, they came to understand one day that they didn't feel like they had a real purpose in their lives, and they decided that they wanted to have a little brass man, and I became that little brass man. And they, you know, they forged me in the fire. They loved me very much. They brought me up, and now I'm a big brass man.
Well, a bitter brass man. But I mean, yes, no, a full-grown brass man, absolutely. Sorry,
They do call me a bitter brass man.
They do. So you grew up your entire life in Recycle Land.
No, well, yeah, I mean, I was there probably until I was 15.
Okay.
And then I came to the Emerald City, you know, looking for gay stuff, I would say.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Change that, make it gayer.
Gayer. I came to the Emerald City looking for dance parties and in the middle of the night, and drugs. I was looking for a lot of drugs as well.
Yeah.
Poppers mostly.
I mean, if there's many things I know about the Emerald City, is there are many dance parties.
Oh, you can find poppers, baby. You can find poppers.
Yes.
Oh,
absolutely.
They make your butthole hot.
They do, actually.
They do.
I've done some poppers in my day. I do have to say,
Yeah.
I have done some poppers in my day. So you what was your venture like to the Emerald City? Was it anything like your friend the Tin Man? I mean, they had a harrowing adventure.
Yeah, he was picked up in the middle of the woods somewhere. I don't know how that quite happened, but it was that was an interesting journey. I mean, it was fun to hear about. My journey to the Emerald City was more of like a hopping on the back of a wagon kind of thing.
And at this point, we are going to play If You Know What I Mean. That sounded sexy. We're okay. This is where you guys got to speak in as many innuendos as possible. Let's get sexy at the Yellow Brick Road.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of people here in the Emerald City whose wagon I'd like to hop in the back in, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I know what you mean. I feel the same way. I was thinking I was gonna find more holes in the road along the way, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I've ventured down a few too many yellow brick roads in my day, if you catch my drift.
Ooh, thinking you're talking about pee, if you know what I mean. Okay.
Now, I'm no scarecrow, but I've had a few poles up my ass as well, if you catch my drift.
Well, I'm no Dorothy, but I have worn many dresses, if you know what I mean.
You ever click your heels together 3 times to get somewhere you really want, if you know what I mean?
Do you ever fly down in a bubble like Glinda the Good Witch, if you know what I mean?
Glinda's a real good witch, if you know what I mean.
Oh! You know what? That was good. I'm going to give it to you.
I can do that forever. Have fun. Keep talking about your regular stuff.
Ever run into any flying monkeys over in Recycle Land?
No, the Recycle Land doesn't have flying monkeys, but we do have large cockroaches. And when I say cockroaches, I don't mean like cockroaches like you've seen before. I mean, these things are industrious. They're the blue collar workers of Recycle Land.
So the cockroaches that you I've actually never
They're
seen
enormous.
I've never seen a cockroach
Oh,
before.
okay.
I'm
all
unsure
right.
what
They're
that is.
the size of a human toddler, I would say.
But they are just, you're just saying they're the citizens of Recycle Land.
They
so
are
to say.
citizens, they are workers, and some of them make a nice paycheck, you know?
Okay, so
Yeah.
no flying monkeys, but
No.
you just hated the citizens that also lived in Recycle Land.
They were scum. Yes, they were
Now,
scum.
Of course, then now you say scum.
Yeah, well,
whatever.
you know, it's rude. I know.
We probably have a few cockroach listeners
My
out there,
friends,
but,
I love you. You're not
thank
scum.
you to our cockroach listeners.
Sorry.
But, I mean, there's a lot of different creatures here
Yeah.
in Oz. You know, you've
Yeah,
got
a lot
tin
of-
men, scarecrows, cowardly lions,
Colored
dogs
horses,
running around,
what's
colored
going on?
horses,
Yeah.
all this sort of thing. I would understand why there's so many different types of beings.
Mm-hmm.
Well, mainly brass men and cockroaches. Is that
Yes.
is that what makes up the?
A lot of brassy folks, I would say. A lot of brassy folks, a lot of cockroaches. But we do have a large population of colorful horses as well. That's really what endeared me to them in the first place.
Yeah, that's great.
They run
So-
wild.
Okay,
In,
did you
in
happen?
Recycle Land.
Did you ride one of the horses to?
I tamed one.
You changed that question?
Oh.
Did you find a favorite color horse that you liked to most often stick your hand in the asshole of?
No, oh my goodness. I do like the pink ones, I'll be honest. I do.
Pink
Yeah, they're
horses.
my favorite. Yeah.
Now that's a horse of a different
That
color.
is a horse, if you know what I mean.
If you know what I mean. So, how are you liking your time here in the Emerald City?
I love the Emerald City. I do. I love it here. There's a lot more freedom here to be yourself.
There is. There really is. Yes, I mean, you can have a podcast like this one
You
even.
can.
You can do anything.
We're going to play questions only. You can only speak in questions.
Okay.
Have fun.
Okay.
I didn't hear that. Well, how do you like your time in Oz?
How do you like your time in Oz?
Isn't it clear that I love it?
Is it not a place that has a very, very diverse population?
You mean that way or that way?
I don't know. I don't know.
Continue on. The whiz peps cost. Just continue enjoying your
I feel
conversation.
pretty confident I'm losing this one, but you know what?
we
I'm
don't know
happy
that.
about it.
We don't know that. We don't know that yet. Okay, so we're enjoying our time here in the
I
Emerald
love
City.
it. Yeah, I love it.
You ever get any crooked stares? I mean, a brass man running around. Everybody knows you as the bitter
They
brass
do. They
man.
do. Yeah.
How are people treating you here in Oz?
It's fine. It's good. I mean, I have my people. You know, I have
Yeah.
my people who I love, and creatures. Frankly, not all of them are people. I like the creatures whom I love, and they flank me on all sides.
They what
And
you on
they
all
flank
sides?
me.
Oh,
They
flank
flank
you.
me
Flank
on
you.
all
Okay.
sides.
Yes, yes.
As if to protect me from the people who want to just assume that I'm bitter. You know?
Okay, what part of Emerald City do you live in?
Trash.
The trash part. You live down in the trash area.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So-
That's where the artists live. You don't get it.
Right. Now that is interesting to me that you grew up in Recycle Land,
Yes.
not the best area
Yeah,
of Oz,
yeah.
but you still chose to live in the worst area of the Emerald City.
Well,
after you
yeah,
moved here.
it's I would call it less of a choice and more of an oopsie. You know, I
an
thought
accident.
I saw trash and I thought it said trosh, and I thought trosh. That sounds really lovely.
That
you
sounds
know,
very Emerald
it
City-esque.
sounds
That
yes,
sounds
it sounds
fancy.
gay. It sounds fancy, and you know what? It is pretty gay. Like there are a lot of
yeah.
young. Queer baristas, who are
Okay.
working in the Emerald City, and I get along with them great. I mean, I think that they're really sweet. I think it was actually a blessing.
I'm loving this queer barista talk. I want to talk more about your cities and what you love about them in this next game where you're going to play the Who's line. So you're both given 2 pieces of paper here and continue your conversation about what you love about both of your cities in this game.
Okay.
Please. Yeah.
Now, you did recently make headlines here in the Emerald City.
Oh, boy.
I understand that you don't like being called the bitter brass man. but you did run through the streets right outside the wizard's hall, and you yelled the following thing. I'd love to know why exactly you said this. You ran through and you yelled, "If you think that's small, you should see my penis."
Now, I did say that.
Why?
And I'll tell you why. Because I think that the wizard has a real dick measuring thing about him, and I think he needs to be taken down to size, And I think that voicing our own vulnerabilities is a good way to help people see, look, you don't have to be all up in your awesomeness, like wizard. You don't have to do this all the time.
You don't have to always be so great and powerful. Maybe be just a little normal and chill.
You can be chill. You can be vulnerable. And, I always say that, hey, demons, it's me, your boy.
You say that.
I say that often.
Now, is that to remind yourself that you can make it through struggles?
I think it is. Yeah,
ghosts?
I think it is. I think you nailed it. I think it's a good way to remind myself, hey, I'm all right.
It's true.
I might be a piece of shit, but I'm all right.
You might be a bitter brass man.
I got demons, but I'm all right.
But it's okay.
That's right.
You can face those demons head on.
Right.
Yeah. Now, of course, I, on the other hand, have a gargantuan penis.
Oh,
for
okay.
sure.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Biggest in all of the Emerald City. Just to know, just to get that. But humble though.
Very humble, obviously.
Yes, of course. Now, I do know that, of course, here in the Emerald City, everybody is so humble, and I did actually. This is something I do want to break some news here on the show, because I do know that you had a recent run-in with the wizard himself.
Yeah, we get along.
Now, I actually spoke to the wizard myself one time.
Okay.
Me and this big one over here got through the doors. What he told me, and I'm interested to see how your interaction with him went. Okay, now what he told me was, I've never wanted to murder someone before I met you.
Interesting.
So I kind of ski-daddled my way on out of there.
Yeah.
It was a little bit intimidating. I thought, we would get along.
Yeah.
Great and powerful, I have a podcast, everything.
Big penis.
Exactly.
Two big penises, one room.
Penises just in one room. What is that going to do?
Yeah.
I
think you should know that's how he jokes. That's how he jokes. He says, I want to murder you, but he really means, I love you very much.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, so you're saying I missed my chance.
Yeah, I mean, the last time I saw him, this is what he said. There's goo in me. Isn't that good? He said, there's goo in me. Yeah, it's fun.
Now, what did that mean?
Well, you'd never really know, but he speaks in riddles, and that's who he is as a human.
Now, I guess I got a little too intimidated by, the fire and the big head and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know, when you went in, did he also have the holographic penis underneath the head?
It wasn't holographic, no. It wasn't.
It
was just a real one.
Okay.
And you know what? I think that he knew. We had some casual conversations before. So when I got there, I wasn't surprised, but I also wasn't here for it. So,
now,
he was very respectful.
When you say you've spoken casually to the wizard,
yes,
I've heard some rumors that the wizard's just a gay guy.
He's gay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think he's
not like the whole head was a facade for so long.
Yeah,
right?
yes.
I got scared of the head.
Okay.
Change that. What are you scared of?
I was afraid of the penis that was there because I thought I was, biggest one in Emerald City.
Yeah, it was intimidating. No, I think that's a common misconception about the wizard. He is secretly just a scared little boy.
Yeah.
And I think if you treat him that way and you're kind with him, he has no problem telling you about the goo inside of him.
Well, I mean, he did open up with you.
He did. Yes. It was lovely.
Yes.
Gooey times are had. I'm so horny. We are at the 20-minute mark. I had so many other games I wanted to play. And I'm not sure if this is even the proper way to wrap it up, but is this about, this was lovely.
That was pretty
I learned so much.
Yeah. A lot.
Yes, you know a lot about the Wizard of Oz now,
I'm gonna dream of a whole different movie. In a different town with big bugs. With very big bugs.
Huge, enormous cockroaches.
Who happen to be the citizens.
Yeah. And I feel like, I don't know if some of that might have been racist. We're sorry if it was. Don't read too much into it. We're stupid.
Honestly, Recycle Land was just Youngstown. That's it. And the cockroaches are my family. Okay.
All right. You heard it here first. Not racist. It's family. We love our family.
Sometimes we're not trying to get back home.
Wow, bravo.
So, okay, we hit the 20-minute mark. The game is officially over.
That was fun.
Jeez, fun.
I was afraid that I wasn't going to have fun with it, that I was going to get too in my head about being like the guest, but I had a great time.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That was, we did a pretty good job at world building more of Oz here, if I do say so myself.
Spin-off.
I agree.
Yeah.
Adventures of the Brass Man.
I'm trying to remember why Dad just was throwing tallies down. I tell you what, I'm a tally whore over here. Tally for you. So is it score time?
I think it's score time.
Score time.
It is absolutely score time.
Okay.
Yes.
I forget at what point and why, but Christine, you've gotten 3 tallies.
Okay.
That's great. I was just
Love that.
really enthralled with what you're saying about bugs. Can't really get it out of my head. I picture them in the mines right now doing a lot of work and beating their wives.
They're very they're hard workers.
Finding all the yellow bricks and laying them down.
Yeah, doing poppers with a brass man. So you got 3 points. Ross, you got 4. I don't know. You said something very stupid that made me laugh. Many things. But also, I was just so impressed with how you were doing. And, of course, you're still such a gracious, amazing host.
Always.
Wow.
Always
Yeah,
good.
while
so
being very
very
funny.
much.
So,
Wow, yes.
That's great.
Please,
Suppose
calm
you
down, everybody. Calm down. Keep the compliments coming. No, that's okay.
it was great. It
Don't
was
start
very.
the slow clap yet, but you can if you want.
No, it was a really fun world you both built.
Okay.
Bravo.
Thanks,
4
man.
to 3 is how it ended.
Yeah.
So.
That's
But you
good.
know what? We followed the yellow brick
It was
road.
great. It was
yeah.
great. Yeah.
And the real points were the friends we made
Along the way.
along the way.
So cute.
Ooh, the mini dresses line. Loved
mini-
that. Sorry, they're all coming back. It's like I'll just have to watch the episode.
Christine, there was one question that I didn't get to ask you in that.
Okay.
And it's that every character in Oz, of course, has a very special song that they sing of some sort. And could you recite to me the line from the Brass Man's song? What was it?
I farted in the cake.
Sounds gay.
It was really gay. It was super gay. Kesha was in it, so
I
it was
farted
good.
in the cake.
Yeah.
I farted in the
yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
That's really good.
It was more like I farted in the cake. You know, that kind of like a dance. You know, a dance song.
So Brass Man has a very like
yes, yeah. He
extravagant-
came to Oz for the dance parties, so you know he had to record his own song.
And the drugs.
You know, a lot of
All
drugs.
the drugs.
So many drugs.
Wow, what an adventure that the Brass Man took.
Very bitter gay old brass man from Youngstown. I think it's a real person. I think I've met so many of those
I think
guys.
It might just be me.
Wild that I chose the character knowing you. It's like we're friends, my dude. That was a subconscious.
Amen.
Wow. Incredible. Incredible. Well, before I wake up from this one realizing it was all just a dream and you guys were there the whole time, what do you say we wrap this one up?
Perfect.
We send everybody home in a big balloon as they fly off into the sunset over Oz.
Perfect.
What do you say we tell the people goodbye, one word at a time? Let's work together for this one.
Okay.
Amber, you kick us off.
Well,
It's
That
time.
again.
two
Deeply
Reach
out
to
all
of.
our. Wow.
No, I can save it. I can save it. I'm gonna bring it.
Wow.
Face her.
Oh my God!
I can save this. I'll bring it back
It's fine.
to the theme of
Yeah,
to
the theme of the show.
episode. You said
While
Dorothy
Followed.
her
shoes
Underneath.
it
and by it we mean the
This is dark, y'all. This is really dark. You want to take that again?
You know what? Here's what we'll do to end.
Okay.
I thought it was
Amber, if you could leave everybody with one last thing, I want it to be this thing right here.
Well, of course. I wrote this. So this is my first sentence I ever said in my life. Do you want to try some of my homemade Sprite?
I do. I would like to try it.
It's from the toilet. Yes, of course.
At Amber Marie
Prison
Falter.
Sprite.
At Dave Rohr. This show's at Who's Life Pod.
Never forget the yellow brick road. Signing off.
Send your hate mail to
Ospaz.
DorothyGale@gmail.com.